Hello again, everyone. Today I thought I would start with an offcut. This is the piece of card that is left over when I make a 5-inch square card from a sheet of A4. There's a little bit here as well, but this is the main thing. I also thought I'd try and use up some of the backgrounds that I've got in my drawers of odds and ends. And this one, I think, probably was just a sheet that I used to clean off a brayer when I was doing a bit of jelly printing or something. Don't know. Doesn't look very inspiring. So my idea was this. I would use a piece of vellum. Somewhere here I have got a piece of vellum. This is all coming from tidying up my cutting table. And I thought I would cover that with a piece of vellum, and already it looks kind of a bit more interesting. So to make it a little more interesting still, I thought I would emboss it. And this is just a regular 2D embossing folder from Sizzix. So we'll just pop that in there and just see how we go. So take out that, put in that, and use my embossing plate. Let's see if I've got this right. All embossing folders seem to be so different. You just have to kind of go with the flow and learn which folder needs which sandwich. Okay, let's have a look. Looks nice. Okay, put that over that. Then let's have a look at the other side, see what that looks like. No, I think I prefer that side actually. Then I thought what I would do would be to have that inside a frame. And this one I think is a poppy stamps frame. And when I looked, I thought, look at that. It's just the right width to take a die cut from this offcut. And being very cocky and clever, I thought, oh yes, put that through my machine, which I did. And if you look at this, there's a tiny sliver missing just here. Must have moved ever so slightly. So for the next one, I taped it and it's perfect. However, I'm still going to use this one as the lower level, just to give it a bit more dimension. So I'll do that before I do anything else. Just glue these two frames together. So the one with the bit missing is going underneath, and nobody is going to know any more about it. I'm sure nobody will go say, look at that, she's got a bit missing off the layer underneath. I'm sure it won't notice at all. Okay. Right. Now, that is going to frame this. But you know what? I have kind of done this the wrong way. I now want to cut a frame. This one, can you see? It's one of my nesting dies from Press Cut. It's just a little bigger than the opening, so it should fit nicely behind and not show around the edge. But I've already embossed that, haven't I? And what will happen when I put it through the machine, I'll flatten it. However, I think that because it's vellum, it's kind of left a white line. So we'll just kind of go with it and see what happens. Let's have this bit down here. Okay, I'm going to cut this out. Let's put a bottom plate in, that on top, and we'll cut it out. Actually, it'd be quite interesting to see what the difference is of a piece that has been embossed first and a piece that's flat and to be embossed later. Never mind, we will see. The thing is, at this way, at least it's going to be exactly the same size as the one before. Often with embossing, you get a bit of shrinkage if the paper has been, you know, made into mountains and valleys. Let's have a look at this. Yeah, it still looks lovely, doesn't it? It still looks lovely. Excellent. That's a bit of a relief, really and truly. So what I'm going to do is put a tiny bit of glue around the edge of here and just glue the two together. won't show because it's going to be behind the frame. So just a tiny little bit, just around the edge. This is just copy paper. It's not card. I think it must have been what I was wiping my brayer off on when I was doing some jelly printing. Okay. Now I want to put this. Oh, doesn't that look nice? Whoa, that's lovely. Okay, I'm going to glue the back of this and pop that onto it. It's got to be fairly near the centre to catch. Yes, the second time I taped my frame die to the card, made sure it didn't shift, and I got the perfect cut that time. So sometimes, you know, cutting corners doesn't always cut corners, if you know what I mean. Right. Put that on top of there. I think I'll just put a block down to press it. There we go. Now, what I thought I would do to pop this on my card was, I've got a square card here. This one is the largest square that I can make from a sheet of British A4, and it's about just under 6 inches by 6 inches. I think that's the man come to repair the TV boxes, hopefully, telling us he's on his way. Oh dear, had to go and sort out the phone call. We've got an engineer coming to sort out the TV boxes that decided not to work. So, where was I? Got my frame, I'm going to put it onto a square card. I was talking about the size. It is just under 6 inches square. That's the biggest card, as I say, I can make from a sheet of British A4. So now I've got these beautiful Freesia die cuts. These are by Alexandra Renke, and I'm going to put two together to make it just a bit more substantial, and then I'm going to just pop these across the frame. So we'll see what this looks like. And then I thought I would add a sentiment stamped, probably embossed in silver, kind of like that somehow. Well, we will see. See if I can get this in position. It's very fine, so just hold it while it sets. Sure it's in the right place. Just love this. I love the actual flowers. I remember donkeys years ago when I first started teaching, I used to get a lot of bouts of tonsillitis. And so I decided to take the bull by the horns and went and had my tonsils out. And it was the springtime, and as I was getting better, people came round to see me and brought some bunches of flowers. And I remember vividly daffodils and freesias. It's funny how memories are triggered, isn't it, by certain things. Flowers, fragrance, all sorts. Right. There we are. So this is hopefully going to go sort of like this. And then a sentiment across there. So I think I've got just about enough space on this bit here to have done all the embellishments for this from the one offcut, which I think is quite clever, really. Let's just see if we've got, I think we've probably got space in here for this. Get some Versamark. There it is. I've got various backgrounds in my box, in my drawers rather. I've got a big tower of you know, leftovers, offcuts and backgrounds, all this kind of thing. And some of them I don't think are sort of presentable enough for a main, you know, background. I'd like to sort of mute it down a little bit. So, let's get a piece of paper. I think putting vellum over it just, you know, just takes it down a little. Now, what am I looking for? A bit of silver. A little bit of silver embossing powder. This is Cosmic Shimmer. It's very fine powder. Get well soon. That looks nice. We'll pop this back in. Okay, now I need to cut this out and just stick this together, and I think then we will be pretty much done. Didn't take long at all, really. The background was already done, and if you've got, I think lots of us have backgrounds that we make, you know, when we're doing them, we keep going and going and going. We get so many, we don't know what to do with. Now, I need to find a little die to cut this out with. Will that do? That will do. I'm going to have to make it shorter because of there's a bit of little bit of this freesia here that is going to be out of the way. I mean, this is silly, really. I could easily have done it on another piece, but I was just trying to be a bit clever and just see if I could get the whole thing out of one piece. Right. Let me have a look. No, I can't see the cutting line on that side, so hopefully we have got it. Right, there's one side done. Yeah, we're fine. We just missed it. Can you see? So turn it around the other way. Put it on this way. Make sure the cutting lines are engaged in the ones that were cut before. Tape it down and cut the other end. There we go. Wonderful. All the bits cut from one piece of offcut. I think that's rather nice. Right, I think we'll stick it down. Stick this bit first. Probably should have done a bit of shaping to these flowers, but I think it'll be fine. About like that. And this one, like that. There we go. I'll just press that down. And then I'll get well soon. I think I'd like it just over the edge. I may put a tiny bit of foam tape over that edge so that it doesn't sort of bend down. It's on the G end, isn't it? Yep. Right. And then we can glue the rest. There we go. Really quick again, using up leftovers, and I love the muted look of the background with the vellum over the top. Anyway, there's another one, another day, another card. I'm taking my nephew and his family to the cruise terminal in Southampton today. They've come down to embark on a cruise to, I think, Spain and Portugal, so hope they're in for a good time. And you come and join me soon, and thank you so much for watching.